Hey there, this is JamiroFan 2000. Welcome back to another episode of JamiroFan Talks About, where I talk about the 24-year music history of the band JAMIROQUAI. And this is the third part of a 3-episode special episode, basically talking about the potential record label releases avenues that JAMIROQUAI can go in releasing their 8th album. And the last 2 episodes, the second one I talk about all the independent record label or their own record label avenues they could go in releasing their album. And then in episode 1 I talk about the possibility if JAMIROQUAI was to go back to their original record label, Sony, which they did 7 albums on. Just to preface, JAMIROQUAI bassist Paul Turner, I talked to him on Twitter this week, and he said that JAMIROQUAI did have a new album deal, and then all announcements for the 8th JAMIROQUAI album would be coming through them and not through the band, apparently. So I don't know. So now I come to the part 3 of my special 3-episode JamiroFan Talks About, where I talk about the possibility of either JAMIROQUAI staying with Universal, sorry, that's just my own personal response, or possibly going to another record label that you're probably not going to expect. JAMIROQUAI ended up, as I said in the last video, JAMIROQUAI ended up leaving Sony Music in 2006 due to irreconcilable differences between JK and the record label. And many interviews, JK did say, in a few interviews, he said that the reason that JAMIROQUAI left was because they just got tired of having interferences while they were trying to make their albums. So JAMIROQUAI ended up leaving, and then a year after their departure from Sony Music, they ended up signing a 1-album deal with Universal Music, which was, many fans were like, a new label, where could this go? And JAMIROQUAI ended up being slotted to a subsidiary label within Universal Music called Columbia Records. And the weird thing was, when JAMIROQUAI signed this deal, if you look at the Rock Dust Lightstar album liner notes to the back of the album, they're listed under 3 separate subsidiary record labels through Universal Music. Rock Dust Lightstar was released in the United States 2 years after its UK release, on something called Executive Music Group, which was a subsidiary label of Universal Music Group. And if you try to find that record label's website now, it's gone. They don't exist anymore. They're gone. And then there was a distribution company that was distributing the album called Fontana Distribution. They don't exist anymore. So this is turning into a bit of like a musical Ghost Hunters. But they it would, I don't know, the overall promotions of Rock Dust Lightstar through Universal is terrible, and I've listened to a lot of music in my life, but I've seen some bands horribly promoted. I mean, Rock Dust Lightstar, when Universal was promoting it, it was almost as bad as like an album put out by Spinal Tap. If you've seen the movie This Is Spinal Tap, check it out. It's very funny. But the promotions would just, for JAMIROQUAI, you would think a big act like JAMIROQUAI signing Universal Music, they would put out all the stops to promote them, as well as promoted as they were under Sony. But from one fan's point of view, it was terrible. The album was released. It had two delayed release dates, from my recollection, and not to mention, as I said, the album was released in the United States 2 years to 3 years after the fact. After it was released in 2011, it was released in 2013. And it wasn't released like an official album release. It was released as a special featured vinyl release on a record store holiday here in the United States and the UK. It's called Record Store Day. Basically, it's a holiday that was created to release special music releases of specific bands to help, stir up people to buy music in physical form, like in vinyls, 6 inches, and 12-inch records, and stuff like that, cassettes, CDs. It was released in the United States as a vinyl release. It did have a CD with it. It did have a digital download, but I didn't understand the logic in this release, and that's, if you're under a record label and they have a marketing team, that's perfect. That's perfectly however they want to release this album is to them. They're the ones spending the money on this. But this was pretty terrible. For me, the Universal Music promotions of Rock Dust Lightstar was just inexcusably bad. JamiroQuai did do a supporting tour, but to add more insult to injury, the album wasn't reviewed. It was not a review. This was one of the less reviewed JAMIROQUAI albums in their catalog. At least all the other JAMIROQUAI albums had a healthy amount of reviews. But Arachnus Light Star saw very sparse reviews, album reviews. So the possibility of JAMIROQUAI re-signing Universal for another album deal, I don't know. I don't think that would work. Unless you've got new people there doing a better job communicating with the fans or trying to do some type of online social media effort to promote this, rather than just relying themselves on being armchair social media by just hash mark JAMIROQUAI album, hash mark this. That's not how you promote an album. I'm sorry. You have to build some online hype. And if anything I've learned from social media is you build hype about an album. You just don't go hash mark new JAMIROQUAI, hash mark this. No, you don't do that. That's one prong of a multi-pronged marketing approach you should do for an album of an important band like JAMIROQUAI. Now, let's just say if they don't go to Universal Music, what if they went to another label that we weren't expecting? What if they were to go to MCA? What would they go to Motown? What if they were going to go to a label that we weren't expecting? My first question is they've got to have good marketing. I'm sorry, but after the torrential Rock This Light Star debacle marketing, they need to go to somewhere that's going to treat them right. That's going to treat the band right. It's going to treat the music with some respect and market it properly. And my second question would be, they've got to have my second expectation would be they have to have a good distribution. They've got to have a good distribution apparatus for this, and they can't be nitpicking where they want to release the album. They can't just be like, okay, we're releasing the UK because we've got a strong market there. We're going to release in Japan. We have a strong market there. But the United States, we'll wait 3 to 4 years. No. This album has to be released. If anything, release it digitally, which costs them no money. Release it digitally the day of, the week after, the month after the official release of your main market. Like the UK would probably be the main market for the new JAMIROQUAI album, or Japan would be the main market for the new JAMIROQUAI. Don't wait 2 to 3 years. You're gonna lose out on a lot of. You build up a social media buzz about an album. You release it with the right release date. You're gonna get maximum profit. You're gonna get good critical acclaim, and you'll get all the music reviews to help fuel people, the average music fan, to invest in this new JAMIROQUAI in music. And heck, if they like what they hear, they end up spending more money to go in and spend the money to buy the previous catalog of music. So it's a domino effect. You have to do all of that, and wherever JAMIROQUAI ends up, that's what I expect. And I honestly, after the whole Universal Music Rock Dust Light Star cycle and what I saw and what I pointed out in this video, it's got to be done right. And when it's done right, everybody wins. The band wins, the fans win, and the record label wins. So everybody wins. So that's my expectation. I hope you guys. And what would your thoughts be? Would you like to see JAMIROQUAI stay with Universal for another album, or would you like to see them go to another record label they aren't expecting? Please leave your comments and thoughts in the comment section of this video down below. Where this 8th album JAMIROQUAI goes musically, it's in the air. We don't know. I don't know. But let's just hope for the best. That's all we can do as fans. Just hope for the best for the band and hope everything works out. And whoever they're with treats them with the same respect as they've been treated before, especially when they were with Sony. So, that's it. That's it for this 3-part episode, and these are running really late episodes. But I love doing these JamiroFan these JamiroFan Talks About episodes. It gives me a chance to a little bit of venting, but talk about everything about JAMIROQUAI, and I get to speculate and get to think out where this new album could go. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoy these videos, and I'll see you again really soon with either a new JAMIROQUAI Minute when the news comes out, or another JamiroFan Talks About where I talk about more stuff concerning JAMIROQUAI discography. So have a great day, everybody. Hope you enjoy these videos. Bye bye.